Jkff, you are lying again. A girl, how can it be painful when I didn't even hold it harshly, but gently? She groaned in pain, closing her eyes, attempting to bear the injuries. He followed his eyebrows, observing her facial expressions, which only revealed pain. He now understood. She must not be lying. Perhaps the pain is coming somewhere else. As soon as he felt that way, he realized her thought before opening her eyes. His other hand slid under her back, sending a shiver down her spine. She was shocked by his actions, tension building as she wondered what he was about to do. She tensed, expecting the worst, but sighed in relief when he guided her to sit with his arm for support. As she straightened, she moved his hand away, creating distance between them. A deep silence settled between them. He sat on the stool, staring at her, while she looked somewhere else from her position on the bed. He leaned back slightly, catching a glimpse of her torn dress and bandaged back. Now he realized her mention of pain wasn't only from injuries. It was a blend of force and pleasure. When he pinned her to the bed, shaking his head, he thought something else to himself to get up from the stool, saying something which made her eyes widen at him with tension. Jkff, lie down on your stomach silently. Why? For what? Her tone is shaking. Jkff, you shouldn't question your husband when he commands you, babe. She looks at him with more tension in her glance, which makes him sense. Then he chuckles. Jkff, see, you are thinking too much. I won't do that to you for now. Just lie down and don't waste my time. Then why do you want me to lie down? For what reason? If I don't do as he said, there is no wonder he will smack my back and forcefully make me. Okay, fine, just lie down. He already told you he won't do it this time. Jkff, are you gonna lie down or should I make you do it myself? Why? No, I'll do it. She stutters as she looks at him in tension. He likes it when he sees the tension in her eyes, like she is crazy for him. She nervously lies down on her stomach on the mattress, putting her face aside towards him. He sits at the edge of the bed, letting one leg dangle until his foot touches the floor, while the other leg is folded beneath him on the bed, positioned closer to her body. Even though she is lying down, her breathing is rapid, as if she is running a race. When his right arm grips her shoulder, her body flinches. She fears maybe she is gonna be beaten by him again. But he starts gently caressing her shoulder in a circular motion, making her calm down, her breathing less difficult. Jkff, relax, he says with a husky voice, calming her deeply. Just relax your body and close your eyes to feel it better. She loosens her body, relaxing as her body melts under his husky voice, the gentle caressing on her shoulder. His hand slowly slides down, giving goosebumps all over her skin. At the same time, she nervously keeps her eyes closed. He looks at the first aid kit, scissors, cotton and something else, taking them with his other hand and placing them. As she hears the box opening slightly, she tries to move, but his other hand grips the back of her neck quickly. Jkff, stay still. I'll provide treatment for your injuries. No need to be afraid for now, baby. The way he spoke made her quickly relax, her body on the mattress with relief. He took a pair of scissors, delicately snipping through the fabric of her torn dress from the neckline down to the lower back smoothly, ensuring that the cut tastefully revealed only her back without exposing her. Now he is revealing her injuries, unwrapping the bandages on her injured back. As the cold air hits her injured back, she wonders if he can truly treat her injury. Does he actually know how to do it? Or will he inflict pain with the wrong, harsh treatment of his own? Is he thinking of himself as he were a doctor rather than a mafia man? As he silently peels off those bandages, revealing the extent of the injuries with a gentle touch, he makes it clear to her that he knows exactly what he is doing. He isn't trying to inflict pain. He has already begun the treatment with a cotton bud after cleaning the injuries. While he was applying ointment, he put on a thin layer with a cotton bud, each movement smooth and gentle. His fingerprints traced the edges of the bandages, a gentle dance over the tape that covered her injuries, with a tender touch, not a harsh one. She groaned, which he felt like was sweet music moving to his ears. After a few minutes, he secured fresh bandages on her injuries. Now that he had completed the treatment, he took a blanket and placed it beside her point. Considering that he had already cut her dress halfway at the back, so if she gets up, her front body would surely be exposed to him. It's finished. Girl, sit up. She opened her eyes in confusion. How could she sit up when her dress wasn't properly fastened? But she noticed a blanket beside her. Her eyes shifted from him in disbelief as she saw him squirting a palm-sized amount of sanitizer, rubbing his hands together. Jkff calmly wrapping the blanket around her whole body, only revealing her face. Slowly she got up, sitting carefully, looking at him with unnamed reaction. How could he treat her like this, considering his professional experience as a doctor? Had he forgotten his own profession? It all made her confused. Recalling Bella's words, she shrugged her shoulders. Her mind remembered how cruel he could be, and his dangerous person. Always immersed in violence. It's a part of his job to be alert in case he gets injured. During fights, he can treat himself. Maybe, of course, he learns self-medical treatment then. She shook off the confusion. He was the one who hurt her and the one treating her injuries. She couldn't understand what kind of man he was. Yes, he didn't even say sorry, but he explained it as if he did nothing. The matter is, he didn't remember at this second that he is the one who had beaten her yesterday, right? She is furrowing her eyebrows, looking at him with a glance as if she was observing a cruel beast in front of her eyes. Jkff, and what? Did you really think I would believe whatever you tell a stupid story? Is there something written on my forehead that says I'm dumb enough to believe lies? She looked at him confusingly, not understanding what he was talking about again. Jkff, don't put on too innocent a facial expression. Baby, you know what I am talking about, your lies. You agreed to marry me out of fear, where I could have killed your dad on that day. It means you love your dad so much. If your dad really didn't like you, how could you agree to marry me? Instead, you would have preferred to see your dad's death by my hands that day. She was thinking in her mind that even what Jkff said made sense from his perspective, but she wasn't that type of person without a heart. Even if she wasn't loved by her father, she would have sacrificed her life if needed to save him. Jkff, what? He asked, furrowing his eyebrows at her with a quiet expression. She shook her head but spoke something else. Well, I can't prove what is true, sir, but Jkff, wait, did you call me sir again? She nodded hesitatingly. He smiled at her, bending over her, making her eyes lock with his dark eyes, while she bent back, clutching the blanket tighter. Jkff, girl, I would have already cut your tongue when you disrespected me and cursed me. She swallowed saliva hesitatingly. Just because I like it, that's why I didn't mind earlier, when you talked without adding sir to those sentences. She relived the moment, thankful she hadn't lost her tongue. But what if he had taken her disrespect differently? It could have advanced into something more violent, right? As he had mentioned before, would he have gone so far as to cut out her tongue? What kind of violence might he have done? Whatever he could have done, considering he is a merciless demon, it would undoubtedly be hell for him. Observing her facial expressions, he smiled with a dark thought in his mind, moving even closer. She gripped herself tightly, swallowing hard. Just inches away from his face, he licked his lips, his eyes fixed on her face. It seemed as if his lips were yearning for her. In that silent moment, his phone vibrated in his pocket, interrupting the tension irritated. He straightened up, tugging at his lips. He received a message from one of his guards, promoting him to adjust his coat and crack his neck. Jkff, don't I even have time to talk to my wife? he said while checking the messages. She opened her mouth, words rushing out before he looks at her. Can you leave me alone? I need to change my dress. He folded his arms over his chest, giving her an unhappy glance. Jungkook, do you think I'm free here to be with you? I came to tell you that I'm going somewhere. Don't attempt to any tricks or nonsense missions to escape from my mansion. Even if you try, remember that those won't work, and my security is not an alert on this mansion. Her eyes sparkled as she listened to him. The demon leaving her was great news. He turned and walked towards the doorway, but stopped at the door and glancing over his shoulder with a sharp gaze. Her sparkling eyes made her nervous. A warning before he moved. Dare you to escape, yet you won't escape from my beast hunger. I can make you regret it in only milliseconds beneath me. She froze at his dark gaze, the meaningful warning catching her breathing for a brief moment. Seeing her reaction, he smirked at her, said something that made her eyes widen. Even if you don't express what's on your mind, I can sense everything by reading your eyes. I can sense everything what you want, even if you don't say or try to hide it. See you, babe. Get well to prepare to make your dad cry this time like hell. Wait for me. I'll get a gift for you even when I come back, something that will make you lay speechless. She stared at his back, trying to estimate the meaning of a gift that could leave her speechless, and he left, leaving her in uncountable guesswork.